Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Gist with Josh. This will be our third. I'd like to apologize for missing last week. I know it was probably a lot of people really put out by that, but I was out camping and I had to get out there. I had to enjoy the summer. Everything's back. Camping's on the menu. It was a great time. Got some sunburns. My skin's slightly peeling, but ultimately it was lovely. It was lovely, and I'm happy to be here to present to you the third premiere of the Just with Josh. And I spruced things up a little bit. Got things set up a little bit better. The process is getting upgraded here. I was planning to originally put out an episode while I was camping, but I didn't have the equipment I thought I did, and it didn't work out the way I hoped. But my friend Sam, who was supposed to be on the show and is one of my most avid watchers, wasn't able to, but he's still planning to release his own podcast here because among my group of friends there's maybe some interest, and he wants to have a go at the gauntlet now. He thinks it's easy. He thinks that anyone can make a podcast. He thinks anyone can just set up a camera and hook up their mic and put on a blazer, drink Mountain Dew, and take bong rips, and then put on some kind of show like this is just a fool's work. Nonetheless, I digress. I'm glad to be here. We have some great things to talk about because there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. It's scary a little bit. The Bitcoin is dropping like crazy. It's like below 20,000 as of tonight. As of recording right now, Bitcoin apparently is below 20,000. Like we all have known, the prices of gasoline through the roof. I went to do some groceries last night. I was pretty stoned, and I went to do some groceries, and that's a mistake. That's a mistake. That's a fatal error, and I ended up spending like $50 on ice cream because I wanted to make a sundae. I don't know. I had a spur of the imagination, so I decided I was gonna make a sundae, and I ended up spending $50 on all this bullshit like sprinkles and crap. I spent like $7 on sprinkles because I got these like fancy sprinkles here. You wouldn't even believe it. I got like 3 different kinds of sprinkles. It's insane. I'm a child. I got like all this bullshit, and I ended up spending like $50 on it. It wasn't really that much, to be honest, but it was expensive. And I actually have to go do real groceries here soon, and I can't imagine what a lot of people are faced with because it's across the board, everyone's paying these prices, and we're all making the same amount of money we've been making. The wages haven't really changed, and there just seems to be kind of an air of impending doom, like there's just not going to be enough. And that seems to be the story that you keep hearing over and over again. Everyone's on and on about the impending apocalypse and what comes. And I apologize for this. Just one moment here. So it's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what the solution is. Obviously, make more money. If you're not make more money. Take up a hustle. Do something. If you have to work an insane amount to make this end meet in this period, they're keeping on saying, they're saying, what is it supposed to get worse? And I'm gonna have to cut this. This is unbelievable. I'm sorry. This is iCloud. Oh, jeez. This is not gonna be as smooth as the other one. Smooth as my other episode. Using iCloud as my notepad is not the route. Using iCloud notes is not the route. I'm trying to reading my notes off this. I need to have a better system. I need to have like written notes. Maybe that's what I should start doing. Oh gosh. Oh no, I'm missing my notes. We don't need my notes. Screw the notes. All right. What my point is, what we're getting at, we're fucking it. We're going. We're just doing what it is. Okay. We need to essentially, what my solution is, what I think we can do to really increase the bargaining power of the locals of the communities throughout North America, the peasant class. Essentially, what we can do is we can put the woman on strike. They put them out of work. Just take them out. No more. Let them stay home, and let's have daycares. I don't know. We'll start like communitized daycare systems, because what the idea is, if we make it like it was back in the 1930s, and we have only dudes working, okay, we have like way more hardcore negotiating power. Okay, we will essentially have twice the amount of labor negotiating power. All right, if we're able to take back our woman, okay, if we're able to take back our woman, okay, out of this workforce, get them making children again, so we can have the producers of the future. I'm not trying to sound like Karl Marx here, but like we just like, it's getting insane. It's getting insane, and we have to do something drastic. And I'm not saying it's a perfect solution, but it might be the solution. We can start homesteads. We can have weaveries. We can have we can have maybe TikTok booths, and they can, our wives can stay at home, and oh gosh, the police are here. The wives can stay at home, and they can maybe they can enjoy, weaving in TikTok, making TikToks that can be the production they can produce at home. And then we have twice the negotiating power for the men. We're getting all this good labor force of strong, hardy men that we're charging, or maybe we're making twice as much. Okay, we're making twice as much. We get the wives at home. They're making TikToks. We could build an entire economy around this system. We don't have to struggle like this, and we can't go on like we are. We can't stay on living on the government's dime, like that song goes, Beast of America, Nico Vegas. We gotta find a way out of this, and if the gas prices keep going up like they are, I was planning to start driving again, but who wants to start driving again after not driving for a certain amount of time when things are like the way they are? I could get a car and get it going and whatnot, but I know they're gonna gouge me on insurance. Just to put the number out there, I could end up paying like $250 a month for insurance, on top of gas, which people are talking about filling up their cars for like $100. Imagine filling up a crappy sedan for like $100 worth of gas. That's insane. That's actually insane. The thought that you're supposed to spend $200, you're supposed to spend like $300 a month on gas, $200 on insurance. At least you got to spend $200 on groceries. Then and then you're spending $100 on your phone bill if you want unlimited data, if that's even an option anymore. I was paying $150 a month for my phone bill because I had an iPhone on the plan. And here in Canada, they love to gouge us. We pay insane prices for our just data and using networks, and it's unbelievable that we put up with this stuff. It truly is. But what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We got to take the woman out of the workforce, put them back in the kitchen. They can make sandwiches. Wouldn't it be nice to go to work every day making? You got twice the amount of bargaining power. It's like my wife ain't coming. I'm literally I got this new job, and I'm seeing this couple. There's a couple that works there together. There's actually a couple couples, and it's literally a man and their wife, and they're in their 30s, early 30s, and they're literally slaving away together with me on the job site, flipping signs and shit. It's not cool. Is this really the life? This isn't what it was supposed to be. You know what I mean? She should be raising her kids like they're in daycare, but instead, what if she was home and she didn't have to pay the daycare, and the guy, there's not as many, the company can't hire all these women, and then all of a sudden they need to pay the men more. I'm not an economic genius. I'm not Jean-Jacques Rousseau, okay? I'm just saying maybe it's not such a crazy idea, okay? We just chain them up, put them in the kitchen, sandwich time, freaking get the show on the road. All right. Now on to now to discuss what's going on with what can we do to what can we do? What can we do? Oh, I have my notes again. Oh, fuck yes. Anyways, so, well, yeah, that's one solution. This is one way we can get around this, okay? This is just one way we can get around this. And then we got to get through all the bullshit. We're just starting to come back down to earth, I think. Maybe that's what we need. We need like a hardcore recession. We needed to lose it all. We needed to be up in the clouds, but we had to touch the sun and burn up and just fall down. And now here we are. We're in the free fall, and that's okay. That's okay. Because it's happened before. I mean, listen, Rome fell, but it wasn't built in a day, and they figured it out, okay? And we got to cut through the bullshit. You got to cut through the bullshit. And people are starting to do that. People are starting to kind of wake up, like not like in a woke sense, but they're really waking up. They're really coming alive in a sense. They're really in the face of doom. People are coming alive. In a sense, they're dead. You can see the look in their eyes. They're sullen. They're like zombies in some senses. Like they're just going through the motions. They're talking about stockpiling food. Like everyone's talking about like how much everything costs. Everyone's like, what the fuck? Like that's the main thing on everyone's mind. It's all anyone wants to talk about. But we got to cut through the bullshit, and that's what we're doing here. And with this whole cutting through the bullshit. There's still going to be a lot of people that resist that. There's going to be a lot of people that hold on to that bullshit. They like the bullshit because they benefited from it at one point, or maybe not so much anymore. I'm talking about the SJWs. I'm talking about the folks that, push these narratives, that pushed all this COVID bullshit on us, that really invested themselves in these groups of like the LGBTQ or the Black Lives Matter, all this nonsense. It's these folks here, like this bullshit is, and as people are coming away from that, but in some sense, there's a lot of real big contention points. I mean, geez, now we're talking about the whole new, the big discussion of today. I was looking at Twitter and the Roe versus Wade and what the implications that'll have for a woman's reproductive rights. And I was looking at an essay by Judith Thompson, and she has this really interesting analogy where she says, well, essentially, if you were to, wake up one day back to back, like you woke up in like a Saw scenario, and you're in a dimly lit room on the operating table, and you're back to back, and you're hooked up to this like a violinist, a famous violinist. You're hooked up to, like, let's just say like Billy Joel. Actually, let's just say, like, for the sake of this conversation, you're hooked up to Billy Joel, okay? And you wake up and you're hooked up to him, and he's all like, we didn't start the fire, but like, bro, I know you were involved with this bullshit, but like, I'm hooked up to you now, and we got to keep on going. The world keeps on turning, and now you're hooked up to Billy Joel, and apparently, his kidneys are all fucked up, and he needs to use your kidneys, and that's why he's hooked up to you, and he needs to extract poison from you for 9 months in order to survive. So you need to stay hooked up to him for 9 months in order for him to survive. But like, what if you just unplugged him? And that's the whole like analogy. That's the debacle. So like, are you going to, like, if you had a violinist hooked up to you, and for 9 months and it needed you to survive, like, would you keep it plugged in? Would you keep the violinist plugged in? Like, that's a great question. And there's a couple. Well, I think it's an interesting analogy, but there's a couple things you got to look at with that. And I gotta thank these guys, because I gotta thank Judas Thompson, because honestly, I think she's had the most, I don't know, friendly opinion. I think that's the best metaphor so far used. I mean, usually when we're talking about the unborn fetus of children, they're described as parasitic creatures that take over these women's lives, or at least how the woman described them, and I think it's just that's a much more friendly way of putting it. A violinist. That's very lovely. That's what we're going with here. Yeah. So, but I don't know. My only thing is it's nice that they're giving it that they're saying that a child is as valuable as a violinist, as long as nice as they're equating it. I don't know if they really match up. I mean, a violinist, would you? I mean, if Billy Joel was connected to you, and you had a child, right, and then like you couldn't take care of your child, like let's say you had a whole family, like let's say you had to take care of your kids and stuff, and like the only way you could do it was you had to like. Fuck it, that. Like, okay, what if you had to sacrifice your child to save a pianist, a famous, like, to save Billy Joel? Like, what if Hannah Montana was, or what if, like, Miley Cyrus, or, like, Billy Ray Cyrus, or what if, like, all the greats were just lined up and it was, like, your family? Like, are you going to choose, like, them over your people? Are you gonna kill your, like, no, like, obviously you're going to look after your own. Oh, in that situation, your child is imperative. That's because your child, I mean, that's the inheritor of the earth. That's the seed of life itself. That's the key. That's what we're doing here. That's the purpose. It's not the same thing. I mean, I would freaking gut Billy Joel I would gut Billy Joel. I would fillet him. I would skin and tan his leather and make a suit out of it and wear it and fight the opposing enemy tribe before I would, give up the life of my child. So like when the abortionists say that, would you keep the violinist attached to you? It's like, okay, but like that's not my kid. Like that's not going to be the future. Like imagine if bees did that. Like imagine if any other animal in the animal kingdom did that. Like imagine if they thought of their youth like that. Like they thought of their children, like their reproduction like that. They started questioning it like that. They're like, imagine if bees were just like, they're like all the worker bees, the queens, like just printing out freaking bees, and they're going up and they're like kind of stepping around the bees like, I don't know about this, like actually, yeah, me and the guy's been thinking, and we're not crazy about this whole hive bee thing, making honey bullshit. We're done with that. We want to go make a lip chap. Yeah, we're gonna start a lip chap company. We're gonna start we know a guy named Bert. He's gonna hook us up. He's got us all sorted out. We got a business model here. And we're done here. Imagine if bees thought like that. Imagine if, like, beavers said, fuck the dam. We're getting tired of building dams. We've been building dams for a long time. I feel like putting, like, raising other little beavers in the dam is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of annoying. It kind of holds me back. I kind of want to just get in the woodworking. I kind of just want to make art. Imagine that. And then like all the beavers just go extinct. Like all the bees just like go extinct. Like there's no more, they don't want to make any more bees. Like that's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing here. Comparing freaking babies to a violinist. I mean that's nice. That's nice. I mean we're getting better here. We're cutting through the bullshit. It's no longer just stepping on the parasite or ripping it, the parasite from your uterus. I love that. That's lovely. We're making progress here. And I feel like I've been dry. But maybe that's because I'm not drinking enough water. And it's a serious tone because it's a serious time. And I'm trying my best to be funny because this is a Saturday night comedy show. I know there's been a couple dead ends here with me looking at my notes and whatnot and checking back and forth. But once again, I'm just kind of getting this all sorted out here, and I'll know in the future not to use, what I'm doing here. Anyways, let's move along here. So that's just what I wanted to talk about a little bit with the whole, I don't know, debate. Because apparently that's the strongest current proponent, that's the strongest current argument as far as the whole abortionists are pushing it, whatever, woman, stupid bitches anyways. Yeah, so essentially we could just start having, fuck all this bullshit. We just need to this is going to keep on going, and it's going to keep getting worse, but we got to stockpile the food, and eventually when they unleash the roving death squads, just to take out anyone extraneous, including myself, anyone who's still wants to kill babies, anyone who any teenage girls who have active TikTok accounts that are making these cringy TikToks, they got to go. Same thing for the podcasts, people like me, they're going to take them all out. Once that all starts coming into effect, and we have we wipe the slate clean, I've been thinking about it, and as horrible as that sounds, and as generational as that tear is biblically cataclysmic as what is coming sounds, and hopefully is not, but fucking is coming out to be. Is as shitty as all that is, I'm kind of looking forward to what comes next. For all these other rich people like Elon Musk that are going to be launching spaceships to Mars and whatnot, and all these other guys who have they have these places in the mountains already chiseled out. They have the best setups. I'm just excited for these guys because once they have all the cool shit, imagine having a Land Rover. Imagine being in I Am Legend. Except Will Smith has a Land Rover and a jetpack, and he has a mech suit, and he's shooting lasers and stuff, and he has 100 slaves just following him around looking for cool rocks. That's the future. That's the next phase. And I'm it's not ideal. It's not ideal. But life is never ideal. That's what progress is. It's never ideal. And it's kind of like this podcast. I think as far as this show's going, I think the last one was better. If this is your first episode, go check out the other two. They were better than this one. Actually, I don't know. This one we'll see. But it's like progress, okay? Sometimes it goes up and down, and we're about to do a big, big dip down. And that's okay, because when things dip down, that just means it's getting ready to go up. Once Bill Gates has successfully inoculated all of humanity with his mind-altering drugs, and we have been fully enslaved and mostly killed off, there's going to be a beautiful opportunity for him to walk around in his mech suits with Joe Rogan and Mark Zuckerberg, and they're just going to go exploring the ocean. It's going to be like Earth Rangers or some shit. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be them they're going to be Factorio in real life. And it's just going to be them. And they're going to know all about what happened. They're going to remember it. They're going to be telling all their, inheritors, their seeds about it. They're going to be yeah, everyone went crazy. They started killing all their children in droves. And then they got in a big fight about it. And they killed each other. And then we started killing them because it got out of hand. And, they were all dirty and dirt people. And that'll just be how it goes. But I'm excited for them because I think I don't know, I believe in reincarnation. I don't know if I believe in it, but it's in there, and it'd be cool. What if I came back as Mark Zuckerberg's
like nephew, and then I was like, I got to ride around in the mech, and then I got to have slaves, and then I got to like be the techno king over the new earth and have like be a feudal lord over the earth. Like that'd be so cool. Like I'm happy for them. I'm looking forward to what comes for them. I think they should keep it up. They're doing great work, and somebody's gotta take the reins. And I mean, if we're not gonna do it, speaking of taking the reins, the bikers are continuing what's going on. Are continuing to ramp about in Ottawa, which is lovely to hear. And they're talking about having the truckers return on Canada Day, which is a very interesting. I think that sounds very patriotic. I think that'll be a lovely display of Canadian pride. I think that'll be very interesting. I wonder how the government will respond to that. Hopefully not by marshalling and quartering and arresting everybody involved, but I think that'll be a really beautiful moment. We'll see how that goes. So I'm not sure what that'll do. Maybe we'll take over. Maybe we'll have a January 6th on Canada Day. I'm not advocating for any of that. Like, I don't think, obviously not. Like, I would never. Okay, but it's just cool. It's cool to see people that care. Cool to see people that care about Canada and that want to see things go into the future. Because we gotta keep thinking about the future. It's like that song, like, don't stop thinking about tomorrow. I don't know how it goes. Ooh, baby, never stop thinking about tomorrow. Mm-mm. Ooh, mm-mm. Ooh, child. I don't know how it goes, but it's like that song. And you just gotta keep thinking about tomorrow. Keep thinking about the progress through the downs, through the lows, through the highs. Just keep thinking about moving forward and understand. Be like the bank. Be like the Bank of Canada. Where the recession comes, increase your interest rates. Okay? And when the interest rates go down and the money's free again, remember these times, because they'll come again. And it's like they say, the soft times make soft men, and soft men make hard times, and hard times make hard men, and hard men make soft times. It's like that saying goes, and it's gonna go like that. And there's gonna keep being people made, and if it does go like I said, and we're all living in the kingdom of Facebook, then we'll be fine, and things will keep moving forward, and things will still be good, and it won't be the end of the world. And Alex Jones is right. You probably will have to eat your neighbor, but that's okay. He probably tastes like chicken. And you know what? If you smoke them and you use enough spices, anything can taste good. And to be honest, there's going to be more people. We can replace them. We can breed people just like we breed cows. I'm not saying I'm going to eat anybody. I'll probably get eaten. I'm kind of fat. I'm kind of juicy. I probably taste better than chicken. I'm probably like a wild bird or something, like a big fat wild partridge or something. I'd probably taste delicious. So, if it comes to that, c'est la vie. I'm a Christian man. I believe in a God. I'm not that Christian. I'm very Christian in the sense that I go to church occasionally, and I believe in a God, and I believe in our Savior Jesus Christ, and I think we're going to pull through this, and I think everything's just going to be fine. Okay, and if that's Christianity, and that's what I'm baptized Catholic, so that's why I'm kind of being weird here. I'm actually a Catholic, but anyways, there's gonna keep being people. There's gonna be new people. And to think about that, actually, this is an interesting fact I found. It took all of human history. It took all of human history up until the year 1800 to reach a population of 1 billion people. And then, after that, it took another 130 years to reach the second billion. It took 30 years to reach the third billion, and it took 15 years to reach the fifth billion. To reach the 4th billion. To reach the 5th billion, it only took 13 years. So put that in the perspective, okay? It took all of human history up until the 1800s. So you have all these all this night shit going on, all this weird dark age shit, all these people pulling each other apart, shooting each other with arrows, having fun, all this Enlightenment era, Galileo, checking out the New World, killing Montezuma, all that bullshit. However that went. And that was 1 billion. But then it took another 130 years after all that, after everything, not even just that, Jesus Christ, literally Jesus Christ, and the Neolithic, all this human evolution. It took 1 billion, 1800 we reached 1 billion. But then 130 years later, we doubled it. 30 years later, we double it again. 15 years later, we double it again. 13 years later, we double it again. And then we're going to stay doubling, and we're going to stay doubling it until they kill us. And right now, they're starting to kill us a bit, and we're probably going to start eating each other more. But we've been doubling it for quite some time, and we've been putting in the work. And we've done a lot of work. Think about that. Even all that shit before Rome took place, before that 1 billion. All the greatness took place before 1 billion. So it's safe to say we're going to take a hit, but we're going to stay doubling. Because we've taken a hit before. I mean, think about the Black Plague. Think about the Great Black Plague. Think about all the crazy, crazy horrors that were endured by our ancestors. Think about how hard it was to get to where we are now. It wasn't a walk in the park. It wasn't easy. And now we have cheesies. We have cheesies. We have iPhones. I'm recording this on an iPhone. We have the Gutenberg press on steroids. It's like I'm talking to you in the video format. And it's just as easy as writing. And that's something to be said. I stole that from Jordan Peterson, but there's something to be said about that, There's something to be said. And we're all gonna starve, and we're all gonna die and burn, like Rob Zombie says, and sick bubblegum. But we're gonna get through it together. And at the end of the day, that's what we got. And if you watched Toy Story 3, you remember that scene at the end when we're there. We're at the end of Toy Story 3. We're going to the dump. And we're going to see some fire. And it's going to test a lot of people. And you better double down now, because when the price is low, you buy. All right? And right now, you need to have diamond hands, okay? You thought you needed to have diamond hands back when GME was all going on the rage? No. Now that things are going to shit, this is when you need to have diamond hands. When we're going into a global recession, when everything's going to shit, when food prices, when you can barely afford to eat, when you've been living off spaghetti, when you've been barely, putting out your podcast because you're camping. This is when you double down. You have diamond hands, you put on your blazer, and you fucking go to work, and you make some motherfucking money. Because that's what it is. It's motherfucking money-making Monday every goddamn day of the week, and there's no more days off. That's all finished. Skip the dish, Uber Eats, all that shit. You're not going to be wasting your time on that anymore. You're not going to be... Now is where we cut through the bullshit. We get back to building real shit. We're going to make America, we're going to make it all great. We're going to make it great again. Because I can't live like this. Frankly, I don't want to be eaten alive. I don't want to get consumed by my neighbors. I don't. I'm soft. I won't make it. So we got to figure it out. And we got to look out for each other. Don't eat each other. If there's other options, try everything else first. Before you eat your fucking friend, try everything else first. Nothing's off the table. All right? And if your friend's being a piece of shit and he's being lazy and he's being difficult or being aggressive, just say it out loud. Just to see how it feels. say, I thought about killing you today. I thought about eating you today. Like Kanye. It's like Kanye. Like, I thought about killing you. I thought about killing myself, and I love myself more than I love you, so you best believe I thought about killing you today. So put them on some of that shit. No, don't do that. We can't be killing you. Don't even incite that. Freaking start a farm. Start a potato farm with your friends. You like your friends, like, you know, instead of playing all this other bullshit, play some Stardew Valley with your friends. Get used to the feeling. Get into it. You know, planting some potato. Get into the feeling of planting potatoes with your buddies. All right? Some stone cold sober potato planting, being hungry, and huddling together for warmth. Get used to that kind of vibe, because it's coming to you, and that's what we got. That's what we got. But you know, maybe we'll build some nice log cabins. We'll build ranches. We'll start breeding our cows, and then we'll have a good, plentiful harvest. And then we'll come through this, and maybe we'll still have internet, and we can still play video games. You know, maybe we'll still have that. Maybe it won't be so decrepit. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, ladies and gentlemen. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. And what I'm saying is, never give up. Never stop thinking about tomorrow. You got to keep fighting for that inner feeling. Find the feeling. Find out that thing that keeps pushing it forward. Double down. Keep making that thing. Keep going forward with it. And keep pressing it out, because we need shit. We need to make shit right now. We need to keep the show on the road. We need to stay on the horse. It's a matter of life or death. There's going to be a culling. And there won't be, none survivors. There might be some, there will be people who survive and people who don't. Maybe not. Maybe none of this. Maybe everything. Maybe we keep printing money into oblivion, and maybe the companies come out and they say, "Oh, we're gonna start paying everyone $50 an hour, and that's gonna be the new minimum wage," and maybe it works. Probably not. No, definitely not. Think about that for a second. That sounds crazy. Out of everything else I've said tonight, that's probably the craziest thing. That's not gonna happen. You're gonna need to have farms. We're going to need to have friends with farms. I live in Canada. We live in Canada. If you're watching this, we're probably in Canada. 99% of my viewership is Canadian so far. And we have a lot of untapped natural resource. I mean, if you look around, especially in the prairies, we got so much unused land. We got to fill that shit up with cows. We got to fill that shit up with wheat. We got to fill it up with potatoes. Everybody should be having a farm. The biggest industry. And right now should be farming and construction and lumber, proper lumber, and or manufacturing of some sort. We got to figure it out. And I got to continue to sit here and massage your mind and inspire so that we can do this. And that's my job. And I'm doing my part. So what are you doing? Sam, I'm talking to you. My buddy, he better start his podcast. There better be a podcast. There better be another podcast here, because we gotta keep making shit. We gotta keep it going. We gotta keep the fire alive. There's a whole lineage, a whole ancestral tapestry behind us. And it is our duty to carry that torch and manage to create a future for our future. And it's not going to just happen. Sitting on our asses, flicking through TikTok, hitting, looking at sexy bitches on Instagram, watching YouTube videos, listening to Jordan Peterson life advice. No, you got to get the show on the road. You got to press play. Don't press pause. There's no rewind button. And don't just let it happen. Don't just let it happen. Seize this moment, because there's not a whole lot of
It's not a whole lot of time left, and you really don't know how much time you get. So with the time you do have, try and make the best of it. Try and put out a good energy into the world, and try and feed back into what's being fed into you, and let's try and create a non-deficit. Like, let's try and create a surplus again. Let's try and rebuild what's been lost for all of our sakes. And let's I don't know, this isn't a very funny episode. I wanted this to be funnier. Hopefully earlier it was funnier. Hopefully, I get some. I'm going to start doing clips as well, because, people watch like 2 minutes of the show at most, in most people. So I'm going to do 2-minute clips. I'm going to start putting those up to popularize. Maybe people, they see a clip, maybe they want to see the show. They try a bit, they try a sample, they want to buy the whole thing. So I'm going to clip this up. We're going to have some good clips. Get that on going. We're going to increase the enterprise in that capacity. I got a blazer going now. I got another one. I can keep this going. And I'm sorry I missed last week. It was a fatal error, and I'm deeply sorry. I should have canceled camping. This is more important. This is my magnum opus. This is my, I feel like I'm Da Vinci in here. I'm like sitting here drinking Mountain Dews. I'm just fucking just philosophizing. I'm like the modern day Sophocles. Yeah. Okay. Well, it is what it is. And what it is not that bad, but it's getting worse. And we got to do something. And it's your job. It's our job. And you got to stop putting it off, because we've been putting it off. And it's enough of that. So, I'd like to thank you for going through me with this show. I think there's going to be some good things coming. I think there's going to be a lot more. To be seen, a lot more to play with here. And I think we all got to stay positive. We got to keep the show on the road. And that's what it is. So thank you for watching. Thank you. If you've watched this whole thing, thank you. If you've enjoyed any of this, I appreciate my small audience. This is fun. Hopefully you feel that I grace your presence enough, and I'm a gracious host, and I don't know. Hopefully. Let me know. Let me know in the comments if I'm not. If you have any advice or any tips, I'd love to hear it. This is an ongoing process, so thank you for watching. This has been the Gist with Josh. Third episode. Thank you. Have a lovely night and enjoy it, guys. It's the end of the world, but enjoy it. Take care. Have a nice night. Test.